The Buccaneers have found their hidden gem. There are a lot of injuries starting to stack up this training camp. One position in particular has had one of our star skill positions stayed out of most of training camp. So someone has had to come in and prove their talents, prove their worth as a starter for the time being. I am Sebastian with Buccaneers Digest. Welcome back, everybody. There is a lot to talk about here. We got some interesting news about some tight ends and how they've been performing or not performing at all that good stuff. But make sure, first of all, to hit the subscribe button. 95% still not subscribed, but that's okay because we're going for the 1K right now. Like Mike Evans, we want the 1K. We're getting really close. Preseason's right around the corner, so let's try and hit that 1K. Let's try and get there right as preseason starts, and we'll be off and to the races doing live streams, all that good stuff. Anyways, what are we talking about right now? We are talking about the tight ends and specifically how Cade Otton. We're on Wednesday, August 6th, and still no Cade Otton and Tez Johnson, Trey Palmer, all that stuff. But we're talking about Cade Otton because, he is a starter for the Bucs. The other receivers, they're all competing for roster spots, and they're young and mostly unproven, I'd say. Trey Palmer has been here for a little bit. Anyway, Greg Allman continues to say that so it would be assumed that they are out for the Saturday's preseason opener as well, since Cade has been out for over a week in training camp. So what does this mean? It's a little mildly concerning. Cade is one of the more underrated tight ends in the league. His rookie season came on Brady's third season with the Bucs, so he got to play with him a bit. His first touchdown came on the game winner against the Rams, so that was really cool, really exciting. And he's gained a lot of experience since then. He's just been a really reliable pair of hands. He's a great blocker. And he's a very selfless player. All the teammates love him. It's just a matter of, we don't really have the depth that we used to have in the tight end position back during the Brady years. Now it's like, it's Cade, and then people kind of don't, a lot of people, even Bucs fans, don't know who comes after him. But hopefully now, with over a week of him being out, there's been some developments, and luckily there has been some developments in training camp, and we'll be talking about who's really stepped up in general. But to continue talking about Cade for a little bit, he had a really good season last year. He played 14 games, so most of the season, almost 600 yards, 4 touchdowns. No stats that are blowing you away by any means, but like when Mike Evans and Chris Godwin went down, he really stepped up. That was just something that we really needed because our wide receiver one at the time became our rookie and Jalen McMillan. So it's like we needed some veteran presence. So third year tight end and Cade Otton was like, okay, I'll be that reliable pair of hands. I'm not just going to block, I'm going to be catching a lot of passes. So the bulk of what, he was doing was during those weeks where Mike and Chris weren't playing. And then, but that's the thing about him. He's very unselfish. He's not like, oh, I need the ball. I'm a pass catching tight end. Not at all. He will do whatever it takes to win. And that's what's really been reassuring about Cade. He's a very smart player. He's a quiet player, but like that to us, we just like that he fits well within the team and doesn't complain, always does what's asked of him. So it's a bummer to see that, to start off training camp, he's basically been out for the majority of it. It makes you wonder, like, okay, is this going to be a lingering problem? His hamstring, that is. Hopefully not, but hamstrings, they have a tendency to linger. So we will see what comes up with that. But Cade himself, he's just a reliable guy. So who's going to come in, basically, is the question. Now, reports come in that Buccaneers tight end Devin Culp, who was here last year, has been a breakout guy during training camp. He's been a mismatch for defenders in the passing game, and he could be a solid with Cade Otton this upcoming season when Cade returns, whatever that ends up being. You could argue that they're just being cautious with Cade and just keeping him out and let Devin cook in the meantime. But yeah, Devin, he's had splashes, he had moments in the previous season, but not enough to the point where like anyone was putting Culp on his their fantasy team or anything like that. But he's definitely turning heads now at training camp, and this is really exciting to have depth at this position, especially if Cade is working through some injuries. There's a good chance that he might not be able to be there for all 17 games this season. So to have a guy like Culp, young, big-bodied, and can now pass catch is really exciting to hear. It's not every day where you can have multiple good pass catching tight ends. So sometimes that is the plan for an offense, and you never know if Grizzard, our offensive coordinator, is going to decide to do dual tight end splits or sets where we're going heavy on the offensive line. I mean, you could always, if you're looking ahead to the first 4 weeks where we'll be out Tristan Wirfs, we'll be needing extra bodies for blocking just to help out in the areas where it's like we're going up against some elite pass rushers. But to also hear he is like doing really well in the pass game and creating mismatches, he's able to use his big body of his to like go up and get the ball, or use his size to overpower defenders. That's really exciting. His confidence is going up. Just the more experience he's getting, and there's just a lot to be excited about with this guy, especially what he had to say after training camp. He said, "My brain is like a sponge. I'm surrounded by a lot of talented guys. I try to take things from each and every one of their games, not just route running, but especially the run blocking side of things." So that is interesting that he pointed out the run blocking. Like, he didn't have to say that like that he's focusing on run blocking as if like that's like something he has to improve on, but it's the transparency, and that's something that just the Buccaneers, a lot of players are really good about, is that they don't give too much away, but at the same time they want the fans to know and the media to know like we're working on stuff, and I'm not perfect. I don't have an ego here. I'm just working on making myself better. I know I'm young and I don't have the experience that Cade does. Even though Cade's like only going into his 4th season, but still, like Devin Culp, this is your time, and from all the reports so far, he has really been taking advantage of this opportunity to, get those first team reps and perform. Like, Brian Adix here said that he's been a bright spot in camp with several explosive plays downfield, mismatch weapon, and friendly target for Baker Mayfield. Everyone wants to be a friendly target for your quarterback, where it's like, you can anticipate what the quarterback wants or needs. A tight end kind of needs to be in the head of the quarterback a little bit. The best tight ends at least are thinking like that. You look at Travis Kelce when he was in his prime, there was like a connection that he and Mahomes have or had, or Brady and Gronk, stuff like that. There's a reason why those two just connected so well. Like in the Super Bowl for the Bucs, Gronk had 2 touchdowns. The big moments, those two were just in sync, on the same page. There was a chance Gronk was going to win Super Bowl MVP if he had a 3rd touchdown. But anyway, basically what I'm saying is that in the short time that Culp has had in training camp to really stand out and prove himself, we're already kind of like learning that Baker's really enjoying what Culp is doing. He's like sponging in all the information that he can. Cade is hanging around the training camp and giving him as much tidbits as possible, because Cade's not interested in being like a me guy. He wants the tight end room to be great and for the whole team to succeed, because everybody knows that this offense has the chance to be the best offense, but the only way you can do that is by being deep at all your skill positions and just positions in general. Obviously, you have to be able to overcome injuries. That is part of a championship squad. We spent most of our Super Bowl run without Vita Vea, which is a massive piece of our team. But that just goes to show like that you have to be able to overcome the deficiencies that happen. And not to say that Cade's going to be out for a long time. They're obviously just being precautious. But now that Cade is very likely not going to be playing in the first preseason game against the Titans, look out for Devin Culp. And we'll be doing or the team will be doing joint practices tomorrow. So look out for how he'll be performing against them, not just against the Bucs in general or the Bucs defense. But then pay attention to the tight ends. I mean, I know there's a lot to pay attention to in a preseason game, but Devin will be getting a lot of reps during that, and it'll be really exciting to see if he's the one that's standing out. From all reports, it seems like he's taken some big strides, and so that's the name that I'm going to be looking for to be making some plays. But he's also looking to be getting better in the run blocking, and that's typically something that goes by pretty unnoticed. No one really pays attention to the blockers as much. It's more about where the ball is. But anyway, keep your eye out for 82. He's going to be a big piece moving forward and a good rotational piece for Cade to make sure that he stays fresh and everything. But now I'm going to bring it back to you guys. What do you think about Cade's injury? Do you think it's something that's going to linger with the hamstring? Or do you think that they're just being precautious? And what do you think about Devin Culp and these reports that he's doing so well in training camp? Are you excited or are you more worried because Culp is young and Cade is young? Are the injuries starting to worry you? Just sound down below in the comments and let me know what your thoughts are on this situation. But make sure to subscribe. We're almost at 1K. We're almost there. And stay tuned because joint practices are literally tomorrow. It's going to be really exciting to be breaking down how those matchups are going. And then obviously the preseason game. It'll all be broken down right here on Buccaneers Digest. I'm Sebastian, and I will see y'all in the next video.